Where'll you be going?
Texas?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Go on, make it happen.
And now here's Steve and Michelle.
Welcome from the heart of Dripping Springs. We are Mallet and Michelle, hosted by me, Michelle Lewis, and Steve Mallet. Skinny Tires Mallet.
That's better than Speedo Steve.
I actually...
Which is better than Fat Steve.
Yeah, Fat
yes,
Steve.
This is true.
Yeah.
And joining us today again is Carlisle Kennedy. Thank you for... What are you, cameoing, I guess?
Yeah.
She's
Shadowing.
Shadowing. Yes.
Shadowing.
Bombing.
Shadow bombing.
Shadow bombing, for sure.
Michelle's making hand signals. I don't know what that means. Is that too loud?
I need it up a little bit.
You need it
Sorry.
up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
In
Just
her
a little
deaf
bit.
ear.
How's that?
There
Is
you
that
go,
better?
in my
Okay,
deaf
there we
ear.
go.
We need to thank our sponsors, Nomic, Power Solutions,
Jovi Belterra, 55 plus living community.
South Star Bank, and
Come on, Carlisle.
Carlisle. Who's our last one?
Mallet Integrity Team Real Estate.
There you go.
Woohoo!
Of which
Ooh.
Carlisle is a part.
I am.
Yes, that's right. That's
Did you-
right.
Was there feedback there?
Yeah, there was. That was some
why that
feedback.
Is it my feedback?
I don't know. I
Might
do
have
declare.
been.
I hear feedback.
I am a bit of a clamp.
Oh, I get my salts. I need
love
my
that.
smelling
Give
salt.
me my smelling salt.
Grammy Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we lost a friend recently.
We did.
And
A local.
yeah,
Local. He
somebody
grew
been
up.
here a long time.
Grew up in Dripping Springs, graduated from Dripping Springs. He was my age, and he was an agent here in Keller Williams. His name is Eric,
Yep.
and he was a hoot. He was a character.
He was,
For sure.
yeah, and went to his memorial on Friday last week, and a lot of people showed up, and I learned some things about him that I didn't know, and I was glad that I went to. Because, you feel like you know somebody, but then when you start meeting family and seeing pictures of them when they grow up, you really get to know who they are.
Yeah, I think it's a good reminder. You need to check on your friends, and even when your friends don't want to be checked on, you check on them again.
Check on them anyway.
But sometimes, there's only so much that you can do, and I know that we have a mutual friend of ours that is very sad about that, and there's only so much that you can do for somebody.
Yeah, but reach out to each other and take care of each other. That's the big takeaway I took from that. So.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of reaching out, I went to San Diego this past weekend and had a glorious time. The weather was amazing. And then I went into a total despair for like 12, 13 hours because
TikTok
went offline, and
Twitching in the corner.
I was twitching. I got the shakes. I didn't know what to do. And it was funny because right before TikTok went down, Kendall and we were binge watching it. We were like, oh, we got to watch it all. And all of a sudden, all these, and I'm not a big social media influencer follower, but there's apparently like this group of people that are just big social media influencers, and they are spilling their secrets. It's confessions. And they're basically saying, well, since TikTok is closing down, I might as well tell you. And
it's all fake.
Well, yeah, like I really didn't use that skincare, or I didn't really exercise all that time. So they're telling everything.
This is a filter. This is not what I really look like.
But then also what I did, and yes, I did, because Kendall forced me. So because my Chinese spy went on vacation because I didn't have TikTok, I joined Red Note for a hot minute, which is the Chinese version of TikTok,
which is owned by the Chinese government.
Which is also owned by the Chinese government. But I'm sure they were just as much as confused. Like, what is going on? Why are all these Americans here? But one of the funniest things was when TikTok went away, there were a bunch of European people that got on there and said, since all the Americans are gone, we can start talking about geography. And it's like that, which I thought was kind of funny.
I did the 3M International Half Marathon, or whatever they're calling it now, on Sunday. And one of the best posters I saw was a guy saying, my TikTok is down, so I'm out here watching this boring half marathon.
That was pretty much true. The next morning we wanted to go eat brunch, and I use TikTok sometimes as a search engine, especially when we go on vacation or we go away. And I was like, how am I going to, I have to go to where the poor people go, Reddit. And I had to Google.
I had to Google. Instagram.
I had to go to Google. Oh, no, it was so funny. Some of these other videos have been going, when TikTok came back online, they were like, I was so afraid. I had to go to Instagram Reels, and like, it wasn't really, but I thought it was really funny. It started back up. Now there's like this whole mass following, and people are fighting against all the big, huge social media influencers. And basically what they're saying is, let's mass follow these younger creators. And there's a whole algorithm, there's a whole system to it. It's a lot of friggin' work to be a social media influencer.
Yeah, I think the
Are
people
you going to
that,
try it?
Well, I mean, it's been kind of funny. Like Kendall and I,
have you
we're
seen
going
her?
to.
She's got like 800 followers.
I did.
mean, you know, she's
Steve.
big time, Carlisle. She's
serious
big
business.
time.
I have 435 followers.
Oh,
Okay,
Jeez.
simmer down.
Jeez.
I wish I had 800 followers.
You could double it this year.
I wish I did. Hey, follow Mama Lewis DX
Put that on your goal
TikTok.
list.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
Double my followers.
That's a good segue into, I think we all get to a certain age where social media becomes less important to us and kind of a pain in the ass. I'll go out on a limb and say.
Yeah.
I read this article the other day that there is a connection between your mindset and your health as you age. So how many times have you heard somebody say, I'm too old for that? Or do you know how old I am? I can't do that anymore. Or blaming certain things they've got going on. And Carlisle's looking at me because I probably say that.
I do not. My mind is still a kid. Like
Well, I still feel that way
Yeah.
too. But I find myself sometimes like saying things like I love snowboarding, but I probably won't go snowboarding anymore because if I hurt myself,
It's a bad deal.
it is a bad deal. It's like, when you're a kid, you sprain something,
Yeah.
you're like 3 weeks later, you're out running, 10Ks or
But
whatever. But when you're 60, almost 62, it's a 6-month recovery.
if you hurt yourself snowboarding, everybody would say, "Can you believe Steve was snowboarding?
Oh.
What is he thinking?" No, not really.
You probably would.
They would
yeah.
actually think about me.
So there was this researcher at Harvard University, Eric S. Kim, that did this whole study that negative beliefs about aging can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And the opposite is also true. Positive beliefs can promote longer living and healthier habits. Meaning if you don't believe that your age is a limiting factor, you will actually live longer.
I don't think age is a limiting factor. I mean, is eating chips and guacamole for dinner?
That's
is
a
that...
limiting factor. That's a limiting factor.
Hey,
Michelle.
guacamole's green.
Yeah.
It is true though. It's like I remember when I was younger that when my parents were turning 40, when they were turning 50, I was like, they've got one foot in the grave.
That's true.
And I'm 47 and I do not feel
That's
I'm
kind
a
of the
kid.
point of this is
Yeah.
that I remember being, when I was 40, thinking, man, I'm really getting old. Now I think, geez, 40, you're like the fountain of youth, so it's all your perspective. This
Look,
is how you look at life.
I know you guys like to harass me and call me Grammy or Glammy or
Grammy Lewis.
I've been Gilfy is the new one that that's another friend that has been calling me that. But you know what? That's a badge of honor to me because I am so thrilled. My mother passed away when she was 60 years old and my kids were little, so they never got to experience a grandmother. And so I'm excited.
keeps you younger.
I'm so excited. I'm gonna just spoil
The
this
point is,
baby
Michelle,
rotten.
you are young. You're not even, according to a lot of people, you're not even middle aged. And it's...
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like that.
So part of this study they did is taking on challenges and figuring out how to cope with life's ups and downs can help you live longer and healthier. Meaning how you approach these things that come on you in your life as you age, how you approach those things. So if you think that, when you're 80 years old, like, well, I still got a lot of life left in me and I can go do this and I can go do that. And I'll go do yoga and maybe won't be as yoga like I did when I was 40, but I'll go do those things. You'll live longer.
Look at your father. He's the perfect example.
He's 82
from
years old.
where he was before he moved here to Dripping Springs to where he is now. His social life. He has more friends than you, Steve. Let's just be honest
This
right
is
now.
true. Yeah, he gets a lot more
So
hugs
should
than
be.
I do too. Yeah.
It's because he brings the ladies oranges or tangerines every day.
Every day. And he gets
So-
a hug from that.
Yeah, so-
This study also quoted this woman, Shirley Hodes, who turns 108 this fall. And she says, I love books, I love theater, I love learning new things and cultivating relationships. And she says, I didn't feel like I was middle-aged till I was 80 years old.
She's firing her brain. regularly.
That's exactly
She
right,
is-
Carla.
She's like stimulating your brain. Even if you aren't physical, if you can't be physical as much as you used to be, you're still stimulating your brain through conversation.
I'm always going to
education,
fire my mouth off.
reading, right? You are.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Be starting fights into your 90s.
That's right.
That's exactly right. That'll keep you sharp, though, Grammy Lewis.
That's real.
But so Shirley's advice was to always concentrate on the positive, which I thought was just spot on. And then that reminded me, as I was kind of wrapping that up, of one of my favorite poems, which Dylan Thomas wrote in 1951. Do not go gentle into that good night. And I just want to read a couple lines from this because I think it talks about aging and not embracing that you're getting old.
So I'm going to write this down so I remember
I'll
to
just
read
give you a
this.
copy
Read
of
this
this
at
one.
your funeral.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Do not go gentle into that good night. So fight it. Like hang on to it with your fingernails right to the bitter end. Don't say, yeah, I'm old. I can't do that anymore.
Well, I will tell you what keeps me young, and it's hanging out at 6th Street sometimes, and it's Dirty 6 sometimes, and I like to go down to Dirty 6. But you know that 6th Street for decades has been closed off. You know, at night, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and I think Sunday nights they close it also. For whatever reason, they've decided, the city of Austin has decided to start this pilot program where they are now opening it up.
I heard about that.
And they have put, I got to get my granny glasses on to read it.
Grammy Lewis.
But they've put up this special fencing and rubber curbs and wider sidewalks. And I think this is a stupid idea. They first were going to do it the first weekend when the New Orleans things happened. And they decided to haul it off and wait to the following weekend, which I still think is stupid. But they say it increases pedestrian safety and it decreases the number of officers being injured. But here's the cons to it. Cops cannot cross the street when something is going on.
Because there's traffic.
People can't bar hop anymore. So now you're going to have to go down to the next block and go walk up and down. But I don't know. They eliminated all the street parking. Someone said, there was a comment that said, it's all fun and games until someone gets shoved into traffic, which is exactly what I could see happening. You are now taking all of those people and concentrating them onto the sidewalks. Stupid ideas. So
are you saying that the Austin City Council did something stupid?
I'm
never
just
heard
saying.
such a thing.
So what's now happening to the mounted police officers? What I want to know, because how are they going down the sidewalks? Are they going down the sidewalks, or are they continuing to going down the middle of the street with the cars?
I can't imagine.
I don't see what.
Well, did they remove the parking? Did you say?
They removed all the parking, so now that's where the sidewalk is, which I think is such a disadvantage because think about if you are a band or a bar owner or a bartender or whatever, you work down on those 6th Street bars, Chuggin' Monkey, Dizzy Rooster, whatever, those bars are that are down there. Where are you going to go park? So now you have to go park at a parking garage and pay $20 yourself.
Or in one of those alleys.
But they've
down
always
there
done
that's
that when it's
filled
been
with
blocked off.
Yeah, I know,
drug
but if you
addicts.
got there early enough, you could sit there and you could park. I don't know. I just think this is a stupid idea. I know New Year's, the next weekend of New Year's Eve, they put trash trucks on the corners because of what happened in New Orleans. But again, this is a pilot program. They wanted to see what was going to happen. Mama Lewis says, you dumb. This is stupid. Don't do
I'm
this.
not going to Dirty 6 anymore.
I ain't going to no Dirty
I'm too
6.
old for that.
So Steve's like, I'm not going to Dirty 6.
I will admit, I am too old for that.
You gotta hang out with me sometimes. It's a lot of fun. I
know
like
I
to
can
go
keep
listen
up with
to
you.
You probably can't.
You know what? We run downtown on Saturday mornings, and one of the routes we take goes by this.
I think I've seen
alley
you.
on- Yes, you probably have. Yeah. You're coming home while I'm going. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and there's an alley which would probably be between 6th and like 8th Street, and it is full of people. I don't know what they're doing, but it almost looks like a movie from a post-apocalyptic movie where they're all kind of hunkered down and they're all obviously doing drugs, but it is scary to run. There's like 60 people down there.
No.
And they're all like sitting on crates, and it's a very weird thing. That's just one block off of 6th Street.
Like in full disclosure, my favorite place to go is on 4th Street. It's Lavaca Street Bar. I love that place. They have the
a nice
best
clean area too, without all
Ish.
that. Well, but without all
They
the
have
traffic.
they have my favorite restaurant there at Lavaca Street Bar inside of the
Oh, is
restaurant.
that right?
What is it?
I can't remember the name of it. Like it just totally escaped me, but
That's
it's
what
really
Google's
good.
for.
It's really good. Well, you'll have to go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
You have
There's
to
a
go.
lot
with
of
me.
good places down there in that downtown.
It's just-
not necessarily on 6th Street.
We just
though.
get tons of food. It used to be a food trailer. Now they're inside Lavaca Street Bar.
Roblo's Pizza.
No, or Satan's Pizza. Oh man, you haven't had pizza until you've.
Had
You're like
Satan's
Satan's
Pizza.
Pizza, and you're sitting on the curb on 6th Street at 2 in the morning.
paper plate pizza, paper
and
plate
it's
pizza,
dripping.
paper plate. You're just like-
it's delicious. It's delicious.
That's awesome. Do you think they serve pizza at the inauguration?
I know. I think they serve Big Macs and Diet Coke. I heard
Diet
the Diet Coke buttons back in the White
I
House.
heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
saw
Diet
that.
Coke button
So
is
we
back.
watched that. We watched that Monday. That
Yeah, we did.
regardless of how you feel about the incoming administration, I tell you what, the pomp and circumstance and the fashion, wow, it was
great.
amazing. And we had a podcaster there.
Joe
Rogan.
Yeah, I was sitting in the audience. I know. I saw his face. I was like, "Is that Joe Rogan?" Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
He is media for this time.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I have heard more than anything people say is that, and I actually heard Vice President Vance say it yesterday when he was in North Carolina. It was this morning, and they were asking him about a certain nominee for a certain position, and he said, "Look, I'm here for North Carolina and to figure out what they want, and I'm not going, and the American people should stop listening to the media's narrative
Yeah,
of what
the
they
spin.
want to happen."
Yeah.
And I think people nowadays, I'm not hearing that same rumble and moan and yeah, so you didn't like the guy, but I'm not hearing some of the same stuff. Maybe
one of my very liberal friends that I was running with this morning sees what's going on there and understands that every time they do that, Elon Musk did the Heil Hitler salute. It's
whatever.
like, please, guys, just stop. We're
Could
not
he have just
stupid.
waved at somebody?
Yeah,
Is there a
he did. He
chance
waved
that
at
he was
the
just
audience.
waving?
He went
at
like he said from my heart and to the Mars, or he wants to send to Mars
To
or
space?
something.
Yeah,
Oh my
you know,
God.
it's like,
Oh my God.
they don't. They're so clueless. They don't have any idea that they are done, and they keep trying to do this stupid stuff.
Well,
That's
let's piss them off a little bit more, because here's a couple of highlights that I heard from President Trump's speech. He declared the southern border an emergency. Amen. I'm a
Yep,
South Texas
think,
girl, and I totally agree with it.
60% of the American people.
It
agree
is
with
now
that.
called the Gulf of America. It is not called the Gulf. So that's official. The national energy bills that he's going to do, drill baby drills. I kept hearing over and over again. He's taking off the electric car mandate, the tariffs. Here was my favorite thing that I heard him say, because my son had a couple of friends that were affected by this, and I've had friends that children were affected by this. All service members that refuse to get the COVID vaccine are now going to be able to come back into
They're
the military
reinstated with full back
with full
I
back
love
pay. And I have also heard that they are maybe going to ask for some of their rankings that they missed out on. So that is what I'm most excited about. I think that was a ridiculous mandate.
ridiculous.
And we'll see if we take back the Panama Canal.
Yeah, we see. The whole Gulf of America. We did a story on that a couple weeks ago, and I don't know. I'm not even sure that was worthy of an inauguration speech, but it's pretty cool.
I like to see Hillary's face pucker when he said that. She started chuckling.
I know. One of the highlights for me was Carrie Underwood singing.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it the
America the Beautiful.
America
Yeah.
the Beautiful?
Yeah.
And the music started and stopped. And she waited about 30 seconds, and she just said, "I'll just sing it."
Yeah.
And I had goosebumps the whole
too.
time. It was
She was
amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, you need to go YouTube it, and it's an amazing performance.
There had been some controversy even in the country music world or with conservatives about Carrie Underwood, because Carrie Underwood is a vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat. And so there was this whole narrative that was out there about ranch. She doesn't support the ranching community. I have heard it for years and years and years. She was a PETA supporter, which I don't think was true. There was a whole other narrative that was being pushed about her. And regardless of where you stood, to be able to sit there and hear her amazing voice, I implore anybody to go Google Carrie Underwood singing "How Great Thou Art."
It doesn't matter your political leanings. Having her sing that a cappella was amazing.
So what I'm saying, go listen to her sing "How Great Thou Art."
Yeah.
You will be blown away by her musical talent.
Yeah.
And so I was actually there for that taping. It was cool.
Yeah.
In Trump's speech, he said, "In America, impossible is what we do best."
Yes.
And I thought that
I
was so
love
cool.
That.
Oh, yeah.
That goes on a bumper sticker, doesn't
For
it?
sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Impossible in America. The impossible is what we do best, and the golden age of America begins now. Buckle up, buddy, because I'm ready.
It's going to be great. It's going to be
Yes.
great. One of the things she was talking about at the inauguration speech was the FEMA response to North Carolina. FEMA response.
The
yeah,
FEMA
the FEMA response. To the North Carolina tragedy where the hurricane went through there, and the fires in California and the hurricane in Florida, was that FEMA is just dropping the ball left and right.
All the red tape.
Yeah, and so people have gotten really frustrated with that, and so you've probably seen a lot of people are starting GoFundMes, not only for themselves but to help other people. A lot of people don't know that if somebody starts a GoFundMe and they want to raise $5 million, that money isn't necessarily going to go to the people that need it the most. The way that money gets doled out, a lot of times it's to the people that have more of a presence. They have a bigger social circle. They have a bigger social media presence, that because, maybe they're a part celebrity or something. The people that are really poor, that have 27 people following on Instagram, a lot of times they don't get any of that money. There was a story I read online that the Red Cross and the Salvation Army have kind of taken a back seat to this crowdfunding thing like GoFundMe, and platforms like GoFundMe are taking over. But the people that get that money and then decide how to spend it, they're not always really good with where they send that money.
There is, you want to talk about celebrities, there is a celebrity TikToker, but she's also a Real Housewives of New York, Bethany Frankel, and she actually has a charity called the Global Empowerment Mission, and she is one of those few celebrities that puts her money where her mouth is, and she will go out there and she takes the money in and gets gift cards and then goes out there and personally hands them gift cards. So it takes all the red tape out, which is amazing.
That was actually one of the suggestions from this article. It's not tax deductible if you do it this way, but if you see somebody and their house burned down
Who
and they're out there,
cares if it's tax deductible, right?
I know, but I just want to point it out. They're sifting through the ashes. Yeah. They're sifting through the ashes of their house and they have nothing. Yeah. Give them, instead of sending $500 to a GoFundMe that's who knows where and money will be spent, give them a $500 gift card. That will go a long way. Yeah.
You know what I haven't put faith in now with is it a marketing scam or whatever, is watching all of these fireproof safes being opened and everything in there is charred. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I think a lot of them are fire safe to a certain degree.
Right.
They're not like you can dump them in lava and they'll come out fine.
Yeah.
Well, and I think these fires burned
really hot.
Really
yeah.
hot.
Super hot. Yeah.
I guess you're putting like this false hope into something that, okay, my grandmother's pictures or brooch or my passports and birth certificates.
Go back to the old school, like the old people that we are, and do safety deposit boxes.
Oh,
at the bank.
True.
That's right. There's a lot of scammers out there that are using celebrity accounts. Well, they fake celebrity accounts. There was a big one that got millions of dollars, somebody pretending to be a celebrity, and people were sending money to that. So do your research when you're going to donate to some of these online places. It's more important than ever. There's all kinds of scams out there.
Oh yeah, I know. On TikTok, I don't know if you know who Joe Nichols is. He's a country music singer. He follows me often and messages me and says, "Hey, baby, Hey,
yeah.
beautiful.
I'm sure it's him.
Oh, what was that? I don't. It wasn't the same one that asked if I
Will
was
you
going to
be
be
a
a surrogate.
surrogate?
Yeah,
Will you be
that
my
one was
Grammy?
that was no.
Will you
Somebody
be-
asked me to be a sir baby.
Sir baby.
That's what he asked me yesterday. Would you know what a sir baby is, or have you ever been one? And I was like, what? I had to ask Carla, what's a sir baby? She's like, where are you getting these
I
messages
have a
from?
perplexed look on my face. What is can we say this on
It's
the
a
air?
sir baby. It's like, I guess.
Surrogate.
a
Someone's
sur-
asking her to be a surrogate for a baby.
Yeah, because my name is Mama
Somebody would like to
Lewis.
impregnate her. Well, so does GoFundMe take a percentage of?
I'm
Oh,
glad
yeah,
you
they
said
do.
that. They take 2.9% plus 30 cents per
What?
donation.
30 cents per dollar or per
No,
donation?
Per donation. So
Okay.
there's like a 30-cent transaction fee, which isn't much, but if you donate $5, it's $4.70, and then they take almost
Yeah.
2%
So what did you?
of that.
But you said
2.9%.
of the donation.
So if
that
you
you're-
Right.
donate 100,
Yeah, they're
it's gonna
taking
take
$2.90
$2.90 from it.
I could do that
Again.
math.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to donate $500, go get two $250 gift cards and give them to somebody that really needs help. And
But what if you're across, like what I hear
Well,
in Texas and somebody's in North Carolina?
I'm glad you said that.
Thank you.
So, yes, we want to help the people in the fires and we want to help the people in North Carolina. There are people right here in town that don't have enough money for food, that have no money to put clothes on their kids. Yeah. All right, let's go help them.
Yeah,
And,
I get
in our
that.
local community.
But then when a natural disaster happens, like I want to be able to, I mean, yeah, it is kind of feel good.
I think there's too many people that they do want to help. They have great intentions and they go, you know what, I'm going to donate $100. And they just do the easiest thing and they donate $100 and they walk out and they go, I feel so good. I really helped. But you need to do your research because you don't know where that $100 is going.
So
you don't
what
know
you're
how much
saying-
that money's going to get on the ground.
Donate to Steve Mallet and
That's
Steve
right.
Mallet.
Yes, we
will-
have this GoFundMe. It's Mallet at GoFundMe.com.
Yeah.
Mallet, I'm sure.
Michelle's baby doll fund.
Yeah.
Freaky baby dolls. Have you seen these things she's bought for the baby?
I'm going to bring him in
I'm
next
sure.
week.
Don't you dare. Or
I
tell me
am.
what
I'm going to bring him in next week. I got some.
What is it?
Oh, God.
They're called reborn babies, and so I got.
Well, that sounds horrible.
She bought them for the baby as a toy. Like, I'm like, she's never going to spend the night at your house. These
But
are
they
freaky.
look like real
They look
babies. I'm going
real.
to bring them in next time, so I'll have them on Instagram Live. But they have like little eyelashes, and like you look
They
at them, and
feel
they're
like real babies.
They do. They feel like real babies.
Oh, that's just terrible.
It's terrible.
Hey, I'm going to get a reborn baby monkey.
Even the name of that is terrible.
There are
There's
actually people.
There are
No,
people
Steve,
that
listen.
they will have like a family, and they will do. You can
and they go
Google it,
out. They
and
go
they'll
out
on
with these
walks,
babies.
and they sit them in their high chairs to eat food.
put them
and
in
then
car
they,
seats.
oh, these
So-
two haven't seen Tangled yet, so they're going to watch Tangled. And
Yeah.
they're
You know
dolls.
what it sounds like? It sounds like an offshoot of The Walking Dead.
Probably.
Coming to Cinemax near you or a Max near you. Yeah.
Very scary.
It is scary, but they're cute. And I just wanted to have some baby dolls that were at my house, and I ordered some baby
Freaky
dolls.
baby dolls.
Freaky.
I'm like, here's
What
the
happened
sweet
to
ones
the
you need to
teddy
order.
bear? Can you get a
That.
teddy bear?
Yeah.
Teddy bear's the way to go.
a teddy bear.
yeah.
Okay.
What baby has not loved a teddy bear?
You guys and your technical difficulties in here. I tell
Yeah.
you what.
She's.
It's because he steals my.
I steal the plugins.
He steals my plug.
Well,
and
we
then-
got to go. We got to take a little break and get Ben Ingram in here.
Yeah, I'm sure Ben is going to be very excited to come in after this. I just put it up on the screen.
No way.
Oh, I need that baby.
The blue
Look
baby.
at that. Look at that little chimpanzee writing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
give me the chills.
Okay. Well,
we have degraded into I don't know what.
I
here.
did not spend that much money. I bought it on Temu. So my baby, my
Temu.
Temu, I'm on
Temu.
Temu, baby. Oh, can I just say one more thing, which I thought was pretty funny, and I got a lot of comments on TikTok, was Jeff Bezos' girlfriend,
Oh,
Lauren
man.
Sanchez.
Wearing the bra.
Yes, and the reaction from Zuckerberg and like him like looking down at her, and I said something like, "She's not Amazon, she's Temu."
Looks like Amazon's buying Temu.
It's pretty funny that Zuckerberg didn't realize like 100 cameras were trained on him watching his wandering eye. Huh?
Did you see that a Temu factory burned down? And they were like, the estimated value of the loss is $4.75.
That's funny. All right. Well, we got to take a little break and get Ben Ingram in here from Texas Regional Bank. So hang on, sit tight. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being left in the dark when the power goes out? Say goodbye to blackouts with Nomic Power Solutions.
As your full-service Generac dealer, they offer individually designed backup power solutions.
From start to finish, they've got you covered.
Nomic Power Solutions, keeping you powered up.
Call or text 512-387-4232 or visit nomicpower.com. Follow on Instagram at Nomic Power for updates.
Nomic Power Solutions. Protect your home, protect your family, stay ready. Southstar Bank has remained true to its Texas roots for over 100 years. A commitment to the people and communities they serve, along with flexible financial solutions, allow their clients to shine. Mortgage loans, checking accounts, or complete business solutions. Southstar Bank is your financial partner. Southstar Bank, trusted by professionals, backed by tradition, built for Texas.
SouthstarBank.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. NMLS 410624. Find your joy at Jovi Belterra. Life is better here. This vibrant 55 and up community is located in Dripping Springs, just right outside of Austin. 1- and 2-bedroom homes, resort-style amenities, and just steps away from shops and restaurants. Forget the yard work. This is your time to relax, make new friends, and enjoy the life you've dreamed of. Find your joy at Jovi Belterra. Life is better here. Live JoviBelterra.com. 737-387-6870.
This show is brought to you in part by the Mallet Integrity Team, serving Dripping Springs, Austin, and the surrounding areas of Central Texas since 2004. When you need the best real estate advice and service, give them a call at 512-829-2062 or email them at malletintegrityteam.com. And now here's Steve and Michelle.
And we're back with Ben Ingram. Welcome to the show. Finally, we've been stalking you for years trying to get you on.
Thank you guys. I'm glad to be on here.
Why have you been so nervous to be on here? You're such a social guy.
I guess, but then when you sent me that questionnaire, I'm like, what 3 things that are interesting about you? You can call my wife real quick, I suppose.
Did she help you fill it out, did she fill it out for you?
No, she did not. She did confirm my ideas, though.
Well, you did good, yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to be on here with you guys.
Well, good, and we're happy to have you. And we always start off with, how'd you end up in Dripping Springs? But I think you're born and raised, right?
I was born here, so I didn't have a lot of say in the matter.
I want to know what that means, born here. Were you literally born here, or were you born in Austin?
I was born in the barn off of one. No.
Okay.
No.
You were born breech.
I was born. My parents moved out here in '81. I have 2 older brothers. The reason they moved out here real quickly was because AISD, they lived in South Austin. AISD did that thing where they started busing kids from north to south, whatever. Mm-hmm. So my oldest brother was in kindergarten, and my parents were like, this is crazy. You have a first grader sitting on the bus for an hour and a half. So they started looking west. My dad was very close friends with, and still is friends with, the family that developed like Sunset Canyon, our neighborhood, Heritage Oaks, Meadow Oaks, and some other areas, the Jacksons. Mm-hmm. So they were opening Heritage Oaks at the time. So they bought one of the lots there. So I was born in Austin, but we lived out here.
But that's the house you came home to, is the house in Heritage Oaks.
Correct.
And you have never left.
Well, minus college.
Yeah.
Minus college.
You live there now.
I live there now. We bought it from my parents in 2019, and my mom reminded me not that long ago that in like 4th grade or 3rd grade that I told her, and I don't remember this, but she says I did, she's one day I'm gonna buy that house for me.
That's cool.
So
it's probably because a self-fulfilling your prophecy. Parents have bodies buried in the backyard, and you just need to stay.
Maybe they.
There's
You don't have to tell us, but I bet you she didn't sell it to you for what they paid for it.
Oh well, I don't. Well, they paid like $6,000 for the lot.
Yeah,
for the lot, and I think Dad told me they were all in. And it's a 3,500 square foot, 2-story house. They were all in less than 100.
Did you read?
That's amazing.
Have you redone the whole house?
We bought it in 2019. So in hindsight, before, we didn't know that the world was going to shut down and California was going to move here and Chicago. And
So you're looking at your parents, suckers. You could have sold it.
there was a lot of work that needed to be done.
I want to know, like, when you go back up in the attic, is there still some family stuff up in the attic?
Is the attic almost exactly the way it was when they left? Yes. No, that's not true. Me and my brothers did a pretty good job of cleaning a lot of stuff out. But yeah, there is still, yes.
There's still stuff in there.
When you went off,
No bodies that I've found. But
not yet. Yeah. When you went off to college, where'd you go?
Texas State.
Okay.
Long way away.
Damn, that's a long drive. That's like
45 minutes to an hour, depending on what,
Your mom was probably like, damn it. I was hoping I was going to have to do his laundry on the weekends.
I was going to say close enough to come home and do laundry and steal
ask for money.
Yeah, ask for money. Yeah.
That's right.
So my, actually both of my older brothers went there, and while they were going there, I would go visit them, and I was just like, man, what a cool town. The river right there going through the middle of it. So follow what my older brothers did. My oldest brother went to UT first and then got his master's at Texas State, but they would both say Southwest Texas. Mm-hmm. But my middle brother went, he graduated from Southwest Texas, and then later it became Texas State.
Texas State, right before
so
you
I was genuinely interested in it prior to, and I don't want to get too deep into what my grades were at Dripping Springs High School, but I don't know that,
What year did you graduate?
UT material?
Well, yeah, I would have had to do some other stuff to get there, but what'd you say?
What year did you graduate?
2005.
Oh.
Did you get a finance degree?
I did.
Yeah. So when you went off to college, were you planning on getting into banking?
No.
Yeah. So
No.
tell us, how'd you end up being a banker?
So when I decided I was doing finance, I was working at Conley Car Wash in San Marcos, living on the tips that I made for the day. Like going out to me.
It was a big money laundering scheme. I watched a lot of Breaking Bad.
Maybe for them, but there was not much money laundering on my part. But like going out like a nice dinner was McDonald's.
Oh, geez.
So I figured that I should get some sort of, experience in finance. So I applied and got a job for Bank of America. As a teller, and then I became basically a glorified credit card salesman. Mr. Mallett, thanks for banking with us. I noticed that based on your deposit balances, that we'd like to give you this credit card. I was that guy. I don't know if they still do that.
No, I think they got in trouble for that.
They should.
They did.
Because they had guys like me who didn't understand what,
Wells Fargo paid some huge fines for that.
Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Well, I think Trump just called out Bank of America while the CEO of Bank of America was sitting there yesterday.
Wow. So that was also during like the meltdown. So I was working at Bank of America like maybe like 08 and 09, something like that. Their share price got to like $2 or something like that.
Gosh, geez.
So I had that job, and frankly, it was just not I didn't actually think even after working at that bank, I didn't think I was going to leave there and then look for something outside of banking.
Another car wash.
Yeah, car. Yeah. I was looking at the car. I was also a valet as well.
Working those tips.
Downtown Austin. But so when I was graduating, I remember sitting there thinking like, man, there's like 1,500 kids sitting here, a bunch of people graduating. There's people that are losing their career of 50 years, 30, 40, 50 years right now. How on earth am I going to get a job? And I did the smart thing that everybody should do, is quit Bank of America without any other job lined up.
Oh, yeah.
Really intelligent there. But couldn't get an interview anywhere. Tried to get on with LCRA, PEC. Anyway, there was a job available at Pioneer Bank.
Oh, yeah.
As a part-time teller. And I had experience. I was like, man, I'm going to feel really cool going to be a part-time teller in my hometown bank, But I did it. Yeah. And that was a pretty interesting environment, good environment to learn under in terms of all sides of the bank. And then Aaron Needham stole me into the loan side, and that's how it all happened.
He recruited you from being a teller.
Yeah. I got to handle, all the things that the loan officers didn't want to handle. But to me as a young guy, I'm like, yes, I'll take your
of course.
maturing loans, So that's how that happened.
that time at Prosperity? Was that
Pioneer.
Pioneer? I mean,
Yeah.
was that when Jeff was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the CEO. So I started there
What was
in,
his
in
last name?
2000. Wilkinson.
Jeff Wilkinson. Yeah. Good guy.
Good guy. That was in 2010
Yeah. Yeah.
because I graduated December of 09.
And then you had an opportunity. Did you go from there to South Star?
Yes.
Okay. So you
That was so Pioneer Bank merged with another bank out of Houston area. Ownership changed, kind of like top down change. Jeff left.
right.
It just changed. The environment changed, and y'all know Brent Gibbs.
Yeah.
I have heard of him.
I think,
heard of him a
wasn't
couple
he a famous rodeo clown?
He was. Yeah, he was. He's looking a little like he needs to work out or something. He's looking a
man,
little
he's looking
thin.
really scrawny.
His legs,
and
like
he's
his
he's really white. Like
his
you've never
arms
seen
don't
this
match
side.
his legs.
So his wife Amanda worked with my mother-in-law, who we were talking about, and I guess he kind of heard about.
And
the
your
situation.
mother-in-law is.
Nancy Dolezal.
So if you've been in Dripping Springs a long time in the school district, you probably have heard of that name.
You're really entrenched in Dripping Springs. You've got all kinds of family
and it wasn't intentional. It just turned out that where I grew up happened to be one of the coolest places from
Ever.
everybody else in the world's perspective.
Yeah, no
like
kidding.
where did everybody move?
Well, you said
When-
like 2019, so you moved back to your family home. but
2019, yeah.
give or take. So was there ever a moment like when you were in college and stuff and you're like, I'm too cool to go back to Dripping Springs. Like I want to be where the action is. Like what was that moment? Was it like being a father? You're like, no, I really need to go back. Because my daughter said, never going back to Dripping Springs, ever, ever, ever. And last night I've been like, yeah, she'll move back. Last night she goes, yeah, I'm going to move back. Yeah.
Did you ever have that thought? Ben?
I probably a little. I think every kid has that. I'm going to get out of here and go, But I don't look back at like, oh man, really terrible town. It was an awesome town. I mean, it was a good time to be in Dripping Springs. It was still a lot of wide open spaces we can do trespass fishing on people's property. To a little bit, I did have that thought, but when we had, like you said, we had kids. We were living in South. We owned a house at William Cannon and Westgate by the bowling lanes.
Oh yeah.
And it was
No
like
wonder. Yeah.
1,150 square feet. Okay, the kid. Let's see. I guess we had two at this point. Where are they going to go to school? I don't know about. It's not going to be Lake Travis. Not going to be Westlake. We don't want to go up into Leander. Okay, so Dripping. Where are we going to live? At that time, my parents were figuring out what their next step was. And my dad was actually like, why don't you just buy this place? I was like, we don't want to live in y'all's house. And then I started thinking about it, like, why wouldn't we? You know,
It's a good neighborhood too.
it's a great neighborhood, great location.
Yeah.
They just picked it right 40 years ago. Who would have known?
Do you have any of the same neighbors?
The people right next to us, Noble and Rebecca, they moved in probably like 2001. So yeah, they've known me since from when I was a smart ass high schooler to a smart ass.
Yeah,
I knew
banker.
to a 38-year-old smart ass.
The progression of the
who else?
smart-assness.
Who else? Senora Johnson, who was we call her Senora Johnson. She was a Spanish teacher in the middle school for like, I don't want to say
Ever.
for a long time. She's known me since I was born. She lives down the street.
Wow.
Some of my friends' parents still live in there, like friends from the neighborhood.
When you were growing up here in Dripping Springs, like what besides trespassing, what would you guys do on a Friday night when it wasn't football? Like it was trespass.
Go to each other's houses, and everybody there was no Belterra, so it was neighborhoods with larger tracts. So we'd go, depends on what age you're talking about.
Yeah, I think people are, I guess, really concerned now. I've heard a lot of teenage moms saying there's really not a lot for kids to do besides go to the movies or whatever here in Dripping Springs.
We didn't have movies. You had to go to Austin for movies.
Yeah.
Or go to Blockbuster. I mean, just hang out with friends. I
God
guess you could
forbid they
what
hang
did
out
y'all
with
do
friends.
when you were,
Yeah.
just the things that.
I lived at the beach, so we would go to the beach, and I remember
Where?
in Corpus Christi.
It's not,
Really?
It's not a real beach.
It isn't a real beach.
Hey.
I remember spring break.
Born
my mom
and raised
was
going to Port A. You're not going to.
yeah, I was at Port A. My mom
I love
said,
Port A.
I do not want you down in Port A. And I was like, Mom, we promise we won't go to Port A. We're just going to go to North Beach. And we end up going to Port A, and there was like some big riot, and like some guy ran over this girl. And so long story short, I was on the news, and I was like, oh my God, I hope my mom doesn't
watch
see
the news.
it.
So in high school, they had Nutty Brown was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was definitely
That was
very
a happening
popular.
place. I can't
Man,
believe
it was
I
so
mean,
fun.
I know why they tore it down because HEB bought it, but God, it was such an icon to
It
lose.
was, yeah.
Well, I moved out here in '93. We lived off William Cannon in Convict Hill.
Did you really?
Yeah, and we would
Yeah.
come out here to Nutty Brown, and it was a happening place then. We would go watch the Space Rockers, or what were the something tomatoes. The
Oh,
I can't, do you know who I'm talking
I
about?
do.
I can't remember.
I'll
what the-
remember it tonight. Probably.
Yeah, all of a sudden
Or
you
it'll
just
come to you here in a little bit. So you went to high school where the middle school is now.
Yeah.
That was the high
DSMS.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you do any sports in school?
I did. You'll like cross country and track were my main.
Yeah.
I had a little. I didn't have the best attitude maybe when it came to the coaches that we had, and I'm not going to say any names, but I wish I had played baseball. If we'd have had like Coach Payne, I would have totally played for Coach Payne. But the guys that we had around,
Just keep going, Ben.
yeah, but track and cross country. So Coach Toozy, who is still there, it was her first time, or for her first year was probably my sophomore year when I started running cross country.
Okay.
And then I ran the mile, 800, and occasionally the mile relay.
That's exactly what I did.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah. But in 1976, 77.
So we had in my age group. Do you ever hear of Leo Manzano?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ran it.
I see him running downtown. Well, it's been a while, but I used to see him all the time.
So won a silver medal in. Where did he win the silver medal? Was it London? I know the first time he went, he didn't do very well, but the next time he went, he won a silver.
Yeah.
But he was, I think, a year ahead of me, and one of my good friends who's
wait.
still-
He was a dripping.
no.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Marble,
But
he
you
was
ran
Marble
against
Falls.
him.
He was Marble Falls.
Marble Falls, yeah.
And so Marble Falls, when it was in our district at that time. So I remember me and a friend of mine would kind of we try to pick out who we think we might be able to beat. And
I used to do that too.
And I was almost always wrong, but especially with him, because he was not he didn't really have he's not tall. He's kind of shorter guy, shorter legs,
Yeah.
but man,
Yeah. He was,
even in the 800, he would beat people by like 50 meters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he'd run like a 152,
Yeah.
800, which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's significant. And that wasn't even his race was the mile.
Yeah.
That's what he got. That's what he won the silver in.
That's
I'm
right.
fairly certain it was the 1500, but so anyway,
I think it was 1500. But when I saw him at Town Lake when running one day, and somebody told me it was Leo, and I was like, no, that's not him. Because you're right, he doesn't look like anything much. But then I saw him running, and I was like, oh yeah,
he doesn't look like the typical long distance build.
No, he doesn't.
So now you're back in Drip. You're raising your family here in Dripping Springs, and you are involved in just about everything Dripping Springs touches. I know that you're on the Ed Foundation. You do some chamber stuff, or you went to like the leadership class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is it that you don't do here in Dripping Springs? Like that's probably the easiest thing to
Until
list
today,
out.
podcasts.
Oh, there you go.
There you
True. You're welcome. You're welcome. There, you better leave your check on the table before you leave.
Yeah, I've been on the Education Foundation since 2017. So
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
What's so special about that? Like, for people that don't understand what the Ed Foundation does, can you kind of just give a little synopsis of what the Ed Foundation is?
So we're a fundraising arm for the district, right? So we can, we take donations from our donors and give it to the district, right? So one thing that I don't know that a lot of people understand, I know y'all do, but like a wealthy district like dripping, how much money
The Robin
Robin
Hood.
Hood.
Robin Hood, how much money. I heard actually today earlier. I was talking with someone who knew the numbers, like $11 million
It's a
last
huge
year.
amount.
11
Yeah.
million
That dripping sends.
dripping.
Yeah, so money taken from the
Yeah.
taxpayers,
To-
given
to-
to the school district,
give
and the
it-
school district sends it to
To the state,
The state.
who gives it to
poor.
poor.
What is
The
it?
idea is that it goes,
Yeah.
to,
That's why when you drive through those little cow towns where looks like there's about 200 people, the nicest building in there is the school.
is the school.
'Cause,
Yeah.
'cause
Part of it is
Robin-
that. Part of it is that. So we kind of try to plug that hole a little bit, right? The recapture hole that they've got. And
Well, a lot of people think that a lot of that money gets allocated, or I guess the perception is that athletics gets all of the money. Because we've got the biggest, baddest football stadium. We don't have a jumbotron. Trash.
Not yet.
all
but-
of the money. Oh, you mean from
Like from just fundraising
From the
and
ed
from
fund-
school
oh,
and
yeah.
everything else. And it's like so
yeah, I was-
you're giving it to
So the
teachers and
the Education Foundation, what our biggest mission has been for the last 5 years since 2019, before the pandemic, was that superintendent came to us and was like, "Hey, we're starting to see a mental health challenge that
Yep.
that the kids are facing." So he basically asked us if we would commit to a significant amount of money designated to hire mental health counselors for kids.
wow.
So I'm trying to find this. Oh, here we go. Since 2019, we have given, just for what we call our mental health initiative, we have given them
Amazing.
$1,612,000, and that funds mental health counselors for kids, and then recently for teachers.
So are they
Yeah,
are those
which they need? Yeah.
mental
This
health
was- yeah.
are they contractors or are they actual district?
They are district.
So they're district employees, and then but I guess this is like a stipend. Is that kind of what it is? Would be considered?
You mean our donation?
to
I'm-
help fund.
Well, we pretty much fund those
Wow.
those positions, and it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
We're one of the few districts in the state. If maybe there may be one other one that has
Yeah.
mental health counselors like on staff,
Yeah.
right? So
Did Brent Gibbs get you involved in the Ed Foundation?
let's see. Well, Brent was on there, and I got on there when I was there. I guess that's how it happened.
Yeah, because he got me. I was on the Ed Foundation for about 5 years, and he's the one that brought me on. And when we were on it, one year we raised like $36,000,
which was big. I mean, that's significant.
Well,
right?
we
At
were
that
high
point.
fiving each other, but now, God, you guys are raising hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So you'll appreciate this. I asked Lindsay Herring, who's our executive director and is awesome at her job, along with Amy Embry. I asked her to give me some numbers because I knew we'd probably talk about this. Since 2012, $2,766,000.
amazing, Dan.
So
Amazing.
where's your biggest fundraiser? Where does that come from, or is it like, or do
So we
people
have-
do people give every month, or do you have that just one big fundraiser and that's where you're donating everything?
All of the above.
Oh.
But the events we have is we have a golf tournament in October, which is a pretty good event. Well attended. We have, it's full every year. And then we have, we added a clay shoot a few years ago, which Texas Regional Bank is actually going to be the title sponsor for the third year in a row
Oh, nice.
of that. So y'all should come to that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the clay shoot.
Do I have to shoot
and
the
then-
clays, or can I?
Yes. you
Doesn't
have to.
matter if you have a gun, you won't hit them anyway.
No, you have to write
so.
checks. You just have to write checks.
Just write checks.
So,
You don't do
Clay.
casino night anymore?
no,
That was-
they have a gala and it's themed every year, but I think that may have been a theme. I know what you're talking about.
We did casino night a couple of times, and yeah, it was great, and we had a lot of fun. But we would raise like $10,000.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's a scale time.
Yeah.
Time goes on. A lot more people out here. A lot more
Yeah.
companies out here. But yeah, so those are the events that we do. Then we have monthly donors. Our teachers actually. I think this year we had more teacher participation, like teachers taking a few bucks out of their paycheck and giving it to
Aw,
us.
That's cool.
That's really
'Cause
nice.
They
Yeah.
realize how much good it's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really nice. Well, I guess now that you're a father here and your kids are in Dripping Springs and so it's being a student in Dripping Springs, now being a parent in Dripping Springs, so you're seeing a different need.
mhm.
I think you've seen a lot of changes on how Dripping Springs has grown
Yep.
and changed. And right before we went on air, you were talking about a story about your parents almost buying a property off of Creek Road and missing that kind of opportunity. Can you kind of reiterate that?
Let's put it. The reason they didn't is because my mom felt that where they were buying was already in the boonies. So you go another 10 miles,
which is in the Belterra
which is where
area.
Belterra is, you know. But yeah, it was basically where Creek Road and Mount Gainer come together on that curve. They could have bought 45 acres for
Like $2 an acre.
oh man, it was a very low price. You couldn't buy a car.
$600 an acre.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
600 or 700.
isn't that amazing?
I don't know that you could buy. Yeah, it's wild.
The lesson there is, because they probably thought that was a lot of money.
They
The
did.
lesson there is that it always feels like a lot until 10 or 15 or 20 years later when
Hindsight's
it seems like
20/20,
it's
I agree. Are you one of the quote old timers that say, "Oh, there's too much change in Dripping
I
Springs"?
don't think you are. I've never heard you
no,
say
I
anything
haven't.
like
But
that.
what is your argument against the people that kind of say that, like dripping is changing way too much. I don't like it. The roads, the this, the what.
crowded,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
too
It is too
crowded, and
crowded.
keep dripping. I mean, I get it. I understand. I'm all for responsible growth. But anywhere you go. I mean, like I said, I've been in Austin since '93, and I've seen Austin grow like crazy. So
you can't exactly work for a bank and make loans and
True.
be against growth.
yeah.
Right. But the personal part of me misses, where
Super Sucks grocery store.
No, you don't.
you're looking at a former employee. Of
Oh,
I may have checked y'all out at one point
Sold us
as
some
a cashier.
green meat.
Yeah, thanks for selling me that expired butter. I was sick for
A
days.
17-year-old me was in charge of cleaning that meat market. At the,
You did not do a very good job, Ben.
No, I didn't. Do you think I was more motivated in cleaning it, or do you think I was more motivated in going and hang out with my buddies? So I don't know.
In the back by the
Yeah.
fridges, yeah.
They probably thought like hiring people nowadays was hard. Can you
Yeah,
imagine back then? You were like, guess you just walk by the store and you're like, you're hired.
Yeah. Was Alan Cohen was on 100 episodes ago and was talking about once a year they used to have a meat sale, and there would be guys would come in, like cedar choppers would come in with their pickup trucks and just fill the back of the pickup truck with meat because it was
Wow.
on sale.
Wow.
About
Well,
hundreds of pounds of meat.
yeah, that place. It was.
Meat sale.
It was an interesting job. I think I got like $6.50 an hour, which was
Yeah, that's pretty good money
Pretty
back
good money,
then.
Yeah. You don't have to pay for anything. But
Do you make that much now?
Now you make $7.50
inflation adjusted, it's probably about the same.
give or take. Where else did you like? What else was here when you were growing up that you really kind of remember? Like, where would y'all go out
Did you
to
go
eat?
hang out at Dairy Queen?
Yeah, Dairy Queen. Man, Grand Slam Pizza
Oh,
yeah.
was a big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
And it used to be a little bit, and it is still a great place.
Yeah.
It used to be where the pharmacy is now.
Okay.
And they had a little arcade in the back. I mean, that was there. You know, the Armadillo building that where Pizza Cave opened, and then they moved from there right next to Central Garage, the building right.
Yeah.
That used to be Showstoppers Video.
I remember that. That was here when I first moved here in
Showstoppers.
2003. Yeah.
I
was a
do
big deal.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was big.
So that was like the Drippings version of Blockbuster.
I mean, the community pool was always there. It used to be in the kind of the middle, a pool in the middle of like really nowhere. Now it's,
That's the pool at Founders.
yeah,
Yeah.
Founders Park. Have you
Yeah.
seen the skate park that they opened?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
It is so awesome.
Yeah.
I got to know Dennis Baldwin.
We had him on
He's
the
been on,
podcast.
yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah.
I when they first started doing that, like 10 years ago or however long it was, I mean, he put a lot of time in
Yeah,
that.
he did. Right. He's still putting time in on it.
And my boys have discovered it, and we go like ever since.
Oh, that's cool.
Ever since like November, we've been going like at least once a weekend.
Do you skate with him?
I do not.
If you say you're too old, I'm going to kick you.
No. I'm not. But I also don't want to break my tailbone before I have to take 3 little boys home.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I saw Dennis there the last time we were there, and he was like, "Man, it's so good to see you up here. Next time we'll get you on a board." You know, I was like, maybe I should.
Yeah, he told me the same thing, and then I was like, I was kind of all excited about it, and then later on, I was like,
he's really good too.
Yeah, well, I know he is. Yeah, I've seen him skate. Wow.
But you asked me that question earlier about I'm not. I mean, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, right? You're 25 minutes from Austin.
Growth, growth is inevitable.
And then you have the school districts. You know, they've had the exemplary status for however long it's been, right? And I mean, it's only a matter of time before it was going to happen. So it's like, kind of is what it is. Do I miss seeing, open? Of course. I mean, but
we
also
still
there's a lot
have
of
a
good
lot
people
of
here.
that. We still have a lot of that.
If you look around, there's still a lot of like if you drive down Creek Road where you were talking about your folks almost bought place, you feel like you're way out in the country.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome. And then, good people come with it too.
Hey, we don't have a Walmart, okay?
Man, I hope we don't also, but
I want to ask you a business question. Why should people come to a local bank instead of a large national bank?
Ooh, that's a good question. Ooh.
Do you want to be a number or somebody, or do you want to be somebody that's known and where you walk in and you see the same person every day and they, like, hey, Steve, how was the half marathon? How was the half marathon last weekend? I think, COVID kind of answered that question for a lot of people. Like the PPP loan scenario, which was a crazy time to work at a bank. Man, you basically can't do any underwriting. You just hand people money is essentially what it was. But what I saw was, and I was at a different bank at that point, but same idea applies, that what I would consider a good sized customer for our bank, but a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America, not a needle mover, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, that first round of money real quick, and a lot of like the smaller people were not able to even get a reply, basically. So I was able to get, and we, TRB and, Southstar at that time, were able to, get some really good, meaningful relationships for us that, Wells Fargo, the big guys
still going on.
Yeah. That's still, and I think that was a good kind of like wake up call that it actually, yes, a really nice online banking, platform is great to have, but it's also good to have somebody that you can like text on Saturday.
Like I've done to Ben several times. I just Ben has partly helped me finance my home remodel that we had, but also I've had two family members. I currently have a family member. She runs, I think, the Bernie office, Carrie, my Aunt Carrie. And you look at that face.
Look at that.
Did you know that?
Carrie is your aunt?
Yeah. She's okay. So she's my uncle. She's my uncle by marriage's sister, but she's always been Aunt Carrie to me.
God, I need a flow chart for that.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
I had no idea.
Yep. She's my aunt. And then my son-in-law.
Jacob worked with us. We hired Jacob.
We're going to bring Jacob back. When Jacob and Kendall move back, we're coming back.
And we hired him right out of Texas State.
That's right.
And you guys can do loans that a lot of those big national banks wouldn't do.
Yeah. I mean, yes, the banker in me is like, well, it depends on what loan you're talking about, Steve.
Yeah.
But
the mobile home on 2 acres with the fallen
everybody's favorite loan, Steve. But
call Ben.
No,
don't call Ben.
I mean, lot loans or smaller commercial loans. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience in calling big banks to try to get loans, but what I've heard is that just to find someone that does that, it's not, super easy to do. And
you made a good point. You could get somebody on the phone at one of those big national banks that maybe answers your questions, but when you want to go write the loan, you're probably not going to be able to find that person. So you end up with,
and then you're going to be in a different group. Whereas if I do your loan, as long as your loan is at Texas Regional Bank, so you contact me. So.
I want to know what is sexy about banking. I mean,
it's those quarter zip shirts, right? How many of those do you have, Ben?
That's exactly where I was going with
Ben,
it.
are you wearing does your shirt have an eyeglass cleaner in it?
It does. It's down in the it's
at the bottom.
It's tucked in, so you can't tell, but it's down in the.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a glass.
Really?
So just so you know, Ben, you're 39.
38.
38.
Come on.
Michelle, I have that exact same shirt. She calls that my old man shirt.
Is this an old
so
man
there's
shirt?
that.
I call every shirt Steve wears his old
Okay.
man shirt. So let's
Might
just
have something to
clarify.
do
Is
with
this
my
an old
age.
man?
No,
Those are
no,
cool. I love those shirts.
no, it's
And they're
because
so comfortable.
Yeah.
And they're so comfortable.
I'm
and they
surprised
don't,
he's not wearing a shirt like that right now because Steve
I
will
would've-
like.
I would've
he
actually.
owns it in every color now.
Yeah.
they don't wrinkle.
No, they don't
I'm
wrinkle.
not exactly
they stay
up.
cool in the summer, and
Yeah.
you can dress them up or dress them down.
100%.
Well, now you know there's
$1,000 worth of advertising for Poncho. Right
now you
there
know
for
there's a
your
little
choice.
eyeglass
I'm
cleaner
with you,
right
with
there.
you, Steve. This is not an old man shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, my
See?
wife is going to hear this.
Yeah, you know
she
what?
bought it for me, so maybe
Yeah.
she's into the old man.
Michelle
thing.
just picks on me about everything.
Hey, I'm wearing leather pants today, and Steve said I was wearing my rubber pants. Is what he said. So
Yeah.
he's like, yeah. So
Not rubber, like as in depends kind of pants.
that we
I hope
that we
not.
know of.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Not
right.
yet,
Yeah, at least
not
not
yet.
yet. So, Ben, are you optimistic about the economy going forward in 2025? You want to talk a little politics?
that's not
can talk
water
politics.
he
I
just
think-
chugged. That was a big old glass of vodka. He just
I think we're on a similar wavelength with the latter part of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. Do you feel, is everything you're hearing good news that things are looking up and things should go? I feel like we bottomed out in the real estate market.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say,
going
how,
up.
I mean, it would be hard for it not to improve, you know? I mean, of course, my crystal ball is as good as anyone else's, but I mean, in terms of where rates have trended, although it hadn't gotten into the mortgage world for some reason, but I don't live in that world every day.
Yeah.
But, you know, prime has come down, right? Which is where the commercial guys kind of, you know, totally hover, right?
Right.
And that is going to hopefully bring some optimism into an otherwise pretty stagnant, you know, situation like
Yeah.
all across the board. But, you know, we've got a different mindset now as of a few days ago. So we'll see if that pans out. But I would say Ben Ingram's personal opinion is yes, it is,
Good.
you know.
I like that. Yeah.
Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah, you know, part of it is there's been some self-fulfilling prophecies about people sitting around, you know, last year and a year and a half going, wow, the economy sucks and interest rates are high, and they talk themselves out of doing anything. Now I feel like there's people saying, well, maybe now's the time, you know, and there's a little more enthusiasm, a little more upbeat.
Just a change of guard is good for people's, and there's a psychology to it when the further and further we get away from a 3% mortgage rate,
Yeah.
the more people get used. I don't know. I'm not like a residential mortgage person, but I, you know, talk with the guys that do it for us and just am a consumer as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was lucky enough to have a mortgage that starts with a 2, but if you were not, or if you sold that house or something, it's hard. If your perspective is the last mortgage you got was 3% and now it's 6.5 or 7, that's a pretty big thing to get used to.
It is.
But in the grand scheme of rates in the last 30 years, it's
still
even
cheap.
still below average.
But if you think about it, right? So 2019, you were at a 2. We're 2005 right now. That was 6 years.
2025.
25. That was 6 years ago. So the buyers that are in the market now, they weren't necessarily in the market 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is what they know.
Yeah.
This is what they're used to.
Part
is
of
the
what
6 and
has
the
to
7.
happen is that people just have to say, this is the new normal. This is what you pay. This is what it costs to own a house. This is what interest rates are, and get used to it.
And if you like the house, buy it. And if rates go lower, then you're in a better position because you got the house that you wanted.
That's right.
At a price that's arguably pretty reasonable these days.
Yeah,
You know, compared to what
3 years
compared
ago.
to 3
yeah.
years ago. Yeah. You know, you have people of like my dad's age group of his school, you know, he's like, oh, people complain about 6.5%, 7%.
Yeah.
We got 15.
Yeah.
We're happy to have it, you know?
Yeah, my first mortgage I think was 12.9, and I refinanced at 8.9. I was like, yes, I hit the jackpot at 8.9%.
But then I also tell Dad, like, yeah, Dad, but your first house was like $35,000 too. So.
Well, that's
True.
But wages and everything,
Well-
if you factor all that in as a
You know, we were just talking about, you know, $600 an acre. There will be people 10 years from now saying, well, you know, I bought my house in 2025 and I only paid $600,000 for it. And people will be like, whoa, really? Now it's worth $3.2 million or whatever, you know? It's hard to make money in real estate if you don't own anything.
That's true.
Sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right opportunity. You don't make any money.
Paying somebody else's mortgage and taxes,
And we're starting to see a lot of people doing that. Oh, I'll just rent for a while. Like, why? You're just throwing your money away. If you can afford to buy something, buy something.
Unless you're not tied to a specific area, or you're thinking about taking a job elsewhere. I can understand that situation, but I mean, I would rather. My personal opinion is, and maybe I'm biased because I'm work at a bank, but I'd rather own it myself. But and then when you have the opportunity to buy your parents' house, like you did for a little bit of a discount, that also helps. In 2019, before everybody realized how much they wanted to be in this area.
Do your brothers knock on the door when they come to your house?
We changed.
That's a good question.
My parents do. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. We changed it enough to where, like, they both are like, man, like it's obvious our house, but it like you sit in the living room, it's like, man, it doesn't feel like our house, which is cool. Which is, it's just
weird and cool at the same time.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, at all. I did it.
But your parents knock on the door when they come to the house. I mean,
they
usually
knock open, knock open.
Usually my boys see them pull up and they run out there and they don't even have to knock on the door. But when we redid the house, Mom didn't come and see all the tearing. My dad was there like almost every day,
I could see Todd, like if one of the kids bought our house, Todd would be like, oh yeah, you see that fig tree over there? I planted that fig tree in
1974 in the summer.
Yeah.
For sure. What do you do for fun besides chasing three little boys around everywhere?
What do I do for fun?
I know you have a big old trophy animal up in your office. It's much bigger than Greg's, so it's in his office.
Can we roll that back and do that one more time? No. Hunting and fishing. I've grown up hunting and fishing. I try to play a little golf, although I play like scrambles at work, but it's kind of hard to take when I get the boys. It's kind of hard to take a full Saturday off very often. You know what I mean? So I'm actually teaching my oldest to play golf.
Oh, there's a strategy behind that.
There's no selfishness
caddy.
behind that.
Teach him to caddy.
No, and really though, I didn't play golf till I was in college. I really, like I said, when me and Dad were going to do something, we were going hunting or fishing somewhere. Not that, he actually played golf when he was younger too, but it was just not something that he did. So I just didn't really get into it.
Yeah.
So my idea is getting my son at least acquainted with it, Like I think if you grow up with something from especially a young age, that there's a lot better. It's a lot easier to learn. I don't know. This is at least my opinion that if you're below a certain age, I don't know what that is, but if he's only 9, so if he goes, even if he doesn't pick up on it or love it at first, he will at some point. Yeah. Like everybody does. And he will have that experience. I just wish I would have started earlier, but
I'm an awful golfer.
It's a hard sport.
My dad golfed. If my uncle golfs every single day. He lives in Horseshoe Bay. Every single day.
Awesome.
He golfs every single day. That's his.
I think that sounds terrible.
He loves it.
He
loves it.
I wouldn't say I hate golf. I'm indifferent to golf. I'll go play like at a charity event or something, but I'm terrible.
It's frustrating. Nobody likes to suck at something, right? But
that's why you don't like it, because you suck at it.
And I'm not saying you suck at it. I've never seen you play.
I do, Ben. I suck at golf.
I can say I'm like a 95.
Okay.
Which but I also play I don't play that much. You have to dedicate so much time to it that I just don't have.
And it's an expensive sport too.
I think it seems like a lot of yes. Well, just to play and all the equipment. Yeah, I think but
if you get the opportunity,
baseball for kids is super expensive,
especially if they get into like select baseball and they're traveling all the time. Yeah, you're spending
Have you played Driftwood yet?
I have played Driftwood.
Really?
So I just saw
was it?
Awesome.
Like TikTok
Really
was amazing. Somebody on TikTok they filmed a whole thing about being on Driftwood how.
I just said I'm a 95, so I'm not like good. No, you wouldn't see me playing, but oh man, he's good. He can hit a shot every now and then. But from that perspective, it didn't seem like a hard course, Like I've played some, what's that one out in Wolf Dancer out in Bastrop? God, that is a hard course.
That's a hard course.
But it's just a beautiful course. Oak trees out there. Just
and
everything.
All the little
it's perfectly
stops that
manicured. what do they call them? Comfort stations.
Yeah, the comfort stations.
Comfort stations. Yeah.
Fully stocked comfort stations.
Yeah, it's something else, and the all the people that work there seem like really happy to work there. Like the young guys that are like, let me get your club, sir. Like that. Like,
Yeah. We got a tour of that place when they were building the golf course, and it
Twice.
blows my
Yeah.
It just blew my mind that the quality of what they're doing and how much money they spent and how much money it costs to be a member.
Yeah.
Did you get invited out there for some charity thing? How'd you get in the door?
I knew someone who owned a lot at one point and was invited by them.
I went to a political event out there first part of November. For Judge Tanner.
Yeah.
And so they gave me directions on how to get to the house, and I was like, oh, oops, I accidentally turned right and went the long way and some of the houses in there are just amazing, amazing.
Yeah, they had one when we were there. It was they called it a bungalow. It was on the creek that runs there.
Onion Creek.
Yeah, Onion Creek. But I guess there's two parts that run through. This was on the smaller part.
Towards the back, yeah.
Yeah, and they called it a bungalow. It was $3.4 million.
Just a little bungalow.
Your bungalow doesn't cost $3.4 million?
No, nothing I own costs $3.4 million.
Coincidentally, me either. So.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is when we went out on a tour out there, we were with about, 15 other realtors. And while we were walking around looking at everything, I said out loud, I said, if every realtor here pooled all of our money, we couldn't afford to own a house and be a member of the country club here. That's how expensive it is.
I also remember you and I laughing as we were in these black SUVs, we're like rock stars driving through, and we were like, they're never going to sell this. They're never going to sell it. And then all of a sudden it was like, they're sold out.
Yeah.
I remember hearing they're going to sell, whatever the original price was per acre. And we were like,
yeah, you're crazy.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
and
you're
then
crazy.
Now I don't know exactly, but it's 300%, I think, of what that was.
Yep.
So
it was crazy expensive when we first saw them. It was like, I don't even remember, $1.2 million for 3/4 of an acre lot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I think they're
a lot more than that now.
Moss than that. But,
Ben, do you spend any much time on social media?
No, not according to his Facebook page, because I couldn't really
I'm not a poster.
Him. No.
My wife does a little bit. No.
Yeah.
I mean, X, formerly known as Twitter. Yeah. That's where I look at news and stuff like that. But I don't have Instagram.
That's my husband. He doesn't do Facebook anything, but he'll be on X all day.
Is that a conscious thing, or are you just not interested in it?
With X, I just think it's a pretty good way of.
Yeah.
I don't know that X realizes the algorithm that drives it. I don't know if it knows which side of the equation I'm on, because I have different. You got this person over here and you got this person over here. I just think that's an interesting way of doing it. Just see what the perspective is on either side. But I've told people I have a little bit of social media anxiety in terms of posting myself, because
because you don't like talking about yourself for 45 minutes.
What did I tell you before we started? Yeah, kind of. Well, I don't know. I got a Facebook account when I went to Texas State. You had to have a school
college. You had a college address or
school email address to be able to get on there. So it was like this thing of college kids at first, and then I remember seeing people's parents on there. I was like, man,
get off old people.
I never had a MySpace.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
I never had a MySpace either. Did you have a MySpace, Steve?
I did not.
Steve still gets on there every.
He still posts. I was just on there last night. Yeah.
Are you promise you never had a MySpace?
I never had a MySpace. But what you reminded me of, do you remember Oakley sunglasses?
Oh, yeah.
Oakley's, probably when you were a kid, Oakleys were cool, right?
100%.
Same thing happened to me. It's like I used to wear them. I used to ride in them. I'd run in them. I'd wear them as casual glasses. And then I saw some 70-year-old guy at Costco wearing them. I'm like, I'm done. I'm selling every pair I got. Never going to wear them again.
Going to Ray-Bans now.
Yep, that's right. Something else.
Another thing that used to be really cool that I used to do when I was a kid, to answer your question from earlier, was we used to rollerblade.
Oh, really?
Rollerblades were cool.
Where did you rollerblade around here?
290.
We had 290.
290 in the slow lane.
Where did we do? Friends' houses that had long driveways. The Velaway.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Veloway. I hadn't been there in a long time until about 2 months ago. Took the boys over there. Man, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
But go over there, just roller rinks. Are those still a thing? I don't know if those are still a thing.
I used to play rollerblade hockey.
Yeah.
And we would go.
I don't know why it became uncool.
I don't know. It was
Have
fun.
you seen yourself in a pair of rollerblades?
I was getting ready to say, it's hard to look cool doing it.
I'm just
But
gonna say
the idea of it is, to me, cool. I don't know. Maybe we can edit this part out. But
no, we're not editing any of that out.
I bet Greg Lick's pretty good at rollerblade hockey.
He is.
And ice hockey.
Just ask him.
Yeah.
He'll tell you
Just
about
ask
it.
him.
He'll tell you
Just
about
ask him for sure.
it. My boys love Greg. All three of them do, but especially my middle, because my middle he went to Pathways at the Methodist Church, and I would bring him to work with me before I'd take him to school a lot of times. So him and Greg became friends, and of course he knows that Greg can ice skate. And then they started doing the ice skating thing at Christmas time. So Greg came up there while we were all ice skating, and they were just, Greg he's amazing.
That's
he's
funny.
so much better than you are. Like, thanks, guys. Thanks. But
Did Greg put on his full hockey outfit to do?
he had some hockey gear. He brought his own skates, which I understand
I'm
that.
Sure,
but yeah. He's legit. I mean, shout out to his team. They won their.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
Did he tell you? Okay,
yeah, I saw it.
See, you're on social media. We didn't see that because we're not on social media.
Sorry,
you're not on.
No, I am. I'm not on it as much as I used to be, and I'm certainly not on it as much as Grammy Lewis.
I mean, I think the idea is that you need to have a social media presence for like business and stuff. I just have never. I mean, it's not something that I've ever really pursued. Not for any other reason than I can't. I don't know that people really necessarily care what my opinion is. So I don't know if that's. But I just don't post. I don't know. I don't really. I've never really thought about it. I just don't.
I have taken I was just telling somebody yesterday, I've kind of taken a post and ghost stance on social media.
That is like, so true.
Yeah,
so
I just post something and I don't pay any attention to it after that. If somebody wants to make fun of what I said,
you get
like,
caught up in.
Yeah, I don't even care.
I do have to tell him, like, okay, I tagged you in this. You need to share it.
Yeah. And
he's
then I'll go, how do I share that, Michelle? I don't know how to share that.
Yeah. No, I don't consciously not have Instagram. I just already have Facebook, and it seems like, I don't know. A lot of my friends are like, God, you're so old.
I have Instagram for my husband only so I can tag him, and that's it. But yeah, he's the same way. But Ben, I really have enjoyed sitting down with you. Are you not nervous anymore? I mean, because we haven't been recording, so we're going to start all over again now, right?
Yeah.
Are you
So we're
okay
about
with
to
that?
get
This
started.
is just practice.
No, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the invite, and no, I'm good now.
Yeah, I say this all the time on the podcast, and I'm going to say it to you. I have known you for 5-6 years, probably
Maybe a little
longer.
more.
Yeah, through Dripping Springs Elite, you guys came on, and I feel like I know you pretty well, but I didn't. I'd probably be 3/4 of what you told us today. I didn't know about you, and that's
When
one
you
of the
take the
reasons I
time to,
enjoyed
when
it.
you have the opportunity to sit down and talk to somebody, you learn a lot of things.
Well, Ben found out a lot about me because now Ben calls me. What's my name?
This is the Mallet and Cheryl podcast.
He calls. He's like, "Hello,
Yes,
Cheryl."
yes,
Yeah, hello, Cheryl.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah.
So-
Not too many people know that.
No.
Now they do.
You can get rid of that and call her Grammy Lewis.
Yeah.
It kind of bothers her a little bit. So
Oh, it doesn't bother me at all. I love it.
Grammy Lewis.
I'm so excited.
Sounds
So
like
excited.
sounds like it maybe does.
I think you're right, Ben. I think you're right, just a little bit. She's doing some reverse psychology. That does not bother me at all.
I love it. It's the best
No,
ever.
it doesn't. It really doesn't bother me.
I can see it being totally awesome. Plus knowing Jacob, and
Yes.
I don't know your daughter. I mean, I've met her, but
Yes.
I don't know her like I know Jacob. But Jacob's a great dude.
Oh, I know. He's going to be the best girl daddy. He really is. I'm very excited for them. So, yeah.
Well, Ben, thank you very much for spending this time with us
Yeah.
today. I really
Thanks for having me.
enjoyed it. Yeah, and I'm glad we finally got you to come on.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to get on here, and appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you guys.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Rollerblade away, bud.
Find your joy at Jovi Belterra. Life is better here. This thoughtfully designed 55-plus community is paired with resort-style amenities and social activities. They offer 1- and 2-bedroom homes located in Dripping Springs, the gateway to the Hill Country. Make friends, make memories, make time for you at Jovi Belterra. Live JoviBelterra.com, 387-6870.
From rodeo clowns, teachers or doctors, and everyone in between, Texans have one thing in common: hard work deserves smart banking. At Southstar Bank, whether you're buying your first home, building a dream ranch, or just managing daily finances, our 16 branches across Central Texas are here for you. Southstar Bank, trusted by professionals, backed by tradition, and built for Texas. SouthstarBank.com, member FDIC, an equal housing lender, NMLS 410624.
Nomic Power Solutions, keeping you powered up.
Get to know your local full-service Generac dealer.
Cody and Dylan with Nomic Power Solutions are a veteran-owned, Texas-based Generac dealer and installer.
Offering low monthly payment options, it's never been easier to gain independence from the grid.
Call or text 512-387-4232 or visit nomicpower.com. Follow on Instagram at Nomic Power for updates.
Turnkey service including design, plumbing, electrical, and permits.
They even offer set-it-and-forget-it maintenance plans. Nomic Power Solutions.
Protect your home. Protect your family. Stay ready.
This show is brought to you in part by the Mallet Integrity Team, serving Dripping Springs, Austin, and the surrounding areas of Central Texas since 2004. When you need the best real estate advice and service, give them a call at 512-829-2062 or email them at malletintegrityteam.com.
You know you like us, so go now to Apple Podcast or Spotify and leave us a review. Why don't ya? We love your feedback and comments. Email us at malletandmichelle@gmail.com.
Thanks for putting up with us.